How's Oliver looking?
He's continues to progress.
Okay.
Got through practice today, and I think I would still have him as doubtful for tomorrow,
Okay.
unless he bangs on my office door and wants to play. We'll see.
Nick wasn't out there. How's...
Just maintenance day, he's fine.
He'll be fine to go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. I wanted to ask you just kind of you follow up on Shane's night, and you said it's not how, it's how many, and obviously he's racked up quite a few, but there does seem to be at least a trend this season that he's had a quirky, I guess could be a word. I mean, bouncing off his chest, pucks that flipped from the blue line. I mean, does that just happen to players in seasons? You just put it on net?
Sometimes you just get on, I mean, the puck just finds the net for you. You know, if you look at players' shooting percentages throughout their whole careers, there's usually every player has a year where the shooting percentage is way higher than normal, you know. So Shane's had one of those years where a lot of pucks have just found the way in for him.
And I mean, despite his age, this could happen when he was 23. It's just...
I don't think luck or bounces has anything to do with age. It's just, you know, from his part, he gets around the net. He puts a lot of pucks on the net and finds a way. I mean, some have gone in for him this year. So, I mean, to his credit, he is around the net a lot.
I'm guessing it seems like for most players, kind of your most feel-good seasons, or the ones you remember the most, probably happened earlier in your tenure perhaps, but to be creating just accomplishments at this age, at this stage of his career, that's also something telling about a player, right? To still be having an impact when you're supposed to be slowing down, but you're not.
I think there's something like that's what's made this year special for Shane. I think he would still tell you that he'd rather be winning in a playoff march, and he'd give a bunch of those goals away to have that. But that being said, you know, the impact he's still having on our team has been very strong.
Why do you think the kind of 35 and over club has had, you know, across the league a strong year? Yager, you saw Joe Thornton last night. I mean, the Sedins in Vancouver. Is it just the way they take care, or is it the league?
They're all really good players. You know, they've been top players, and they're, you know, maybe some of the skills are slowing down, but they still think and play the game at a high level. So, you know, there's not a lot of 40-year-old checkers out there, right? So, I think they were really good players and continue to be really good players.
Dave, how do you think an over 35 team would fare at the World Cup of Hockey in September?
Put it this way, I'm glad I'm on the under 23 team.
We were trying to deduce and puzzle who's going to play in goal on what night this weekend, and then we just decided we'd ask you and see if you could tell us.
You don't have an opinion? Or?
There are certain clues, but we're usually wrong.
No, we're going to play Louis tomorrow, and then Schmidt will play on Sunday.
Can you explain the reason behind that? Mike has success against San Jose. Is that part of it, or is he just ready for a rest?
He's played 2 games now. He played back-to-back because he got a shutout, and then Louis will get the game tomorrow, and we'll go back to Schmidt, and then we'll reevaluate from there. So kind of going game by game, but on the back-to-back, we knew both of them would play. Like we talked about before, Louis deserves the opportunity to play. He's played well for us. It's great to see Schmidt come back and play well. It'll give him an extra day to get ready for San Jose.
Antoine, I think this has probably been one of his most productive stretches of the season, and what do you attribute that to? I know he seemed to find a nice partner in crime in Alex, but I mean, what else is he doing on his own to put himself in good spots?
You know, he's opportunistic. He's around the net. He's capitalized on some chances like we talked about the other day. His, you know, the last 10 games, we just finished a 10-game segment. His stats were all up. Offensive stats were all up. So he's just on a good run. Sometimes players do that, and I think maybe, you know, part of it is this line he's playing on. They're a real creative line. They move the puck well, and they've got some bounces.
Yeah, I know it was kind of a slow start for him, and I know he had such a busy year last year. For, you know, when you evaluate individuals, is it better late than never? Is it better late than never that he found a stride?
He's kind of, you know, it was slow out of the gate, and then he had a real good push, and then he kind of was down a bit again, and now he's on a real good push again. So, you know, I think there was a lot on his mind coming into the season. I mean, there's the Stanley Cup hangover. I think that's a reality for some players. You know, I'm not just talking about Verme. You look around. I think Brad Richards went through some of the same stuff in Detroit. So that's the reality of it. But Verme's come around. He's played very well lately.